credit.
Why, it's old-fashioned. Charlie, you're an anvil salesman. Your firm give credit.
No, sir.
Nor anybody else. Cash for the merchandise. Cash for the button hooks.
Cash for the cotton goods. Cash for the hard goods. Cash for the soft goods. Cash for the fancy goods.
You could talk, you could talk, you could bigger, you could talk, you could bigger, 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 you could talk, you could talk, you could talk, 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 bigger, 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 you could talk all you want, but it's different than it was.
No, it ain't. No, it ain't. But you gotta know the territory.
Ever meet a fella by the name of Hill?
Hill.
Hill?
Hill.
Hill? Hill!
No!
Just a minute. Just a minute. Just a minute.
Hill. Doesn't know the territory?
Just a minute. Just a minute. Just a minute.
Never worked about life. Or a doggone thing. He's just a bang beat, belly and big hole, great go, neck or nothing, rip roaring. Every time a bullseye salesman. That's Professor Harold Hill. Harold Hill. What's the line? What's the line?
He's a fake, and he doesn't know the territory.
He's a music man.
He's a what? He's a what?
He's a music man, and he sells clarinets to the kids in the town with the big trombones and the rat-a-tat drums and the big brass bass. And the piccolo, uniforms too. Just shiny gold braid on the coat and a big red stripe running.
Well, I didn't know much about bands, but I do know you can't make 11s on big trombones. No, sir. Metal on picks, perhaps, and here and there a deuce harp.
No, the fella sells bands, boys' bands. I don't know how he does it, but he lives like a king. And he wanders, and he dies, and he plucks, and he shines. And when the man dances, certainly, boys, what else? The piper pays him. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And when the man dances, certainly, boys, what else? The piper pays him. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But he doesn't know the territory.
We crossed the state line into Iowa. River City's next. Population 2,212. All aboard?
All right, if you're all through, I'll tell you about Harold Hill.
You really know Harold Hill?
Never saw him in my life, but I know this much. He's given every one of us a black eye. After he's worked a town over, the next salesman to arrive gets automatically tarred and feathered and rode out to the city limits on a rail.
But why should he get rode out of town on the rail?
Because in order to sell band instruments and uniforms and instruction books, he is to guarantee to teach the kids to play, to form them kids into a band with himself as the leader.
Sure like to be around when you catch up with that fella.
Well, it won't be on this trip. Not in Iowa. Even the great Professor Hill wouldn't try to sell them neck-bowed Hawkeyes out there.
All aboard?
Gentlemen, you intrigue me. I think I'll have to give Iowa a try.
I don't believe I caught your name.
It is if you want to run around in your drawers all day.
Hospital, and nobody come to see me. Cousin Will never come, Aunt Bertha never come.
Your Aunt Bertha's dead.
She wouldn't come anyway.
We can be cold as a falling thermometer in December. Ask our weather in July, and we're so far outside. We can stand
Squires, I'd be interested in a rig for Sunday, of course, if you could accommodate me.
Then you should probably go talk to the guy in charge of hiring rigs. Who's late? As usual.
Hey, Gregory!
Marcellus!
You old son of a gun. Shh! Greg.
Professor Hill's the name, Harold Hill.
But Greg, what are you doing here? Why didn't you let me know you was coming?
I didn't know I was myself. Besides, how'd I know you'd end up in a little tank town like this? You were a pretty big slicker when you were in business with me.
Too many close shaves the way you work. Besides, I got me a nice, comfortable girl. Ethel Toffelmeyer, the boss's niece.
Gone legitimate, huh? I knew you'd come to no good.
What's the new pitch? Oh, you're not back in the band business. I heard you was in steam automobiles.
Well, I was.
What happened?
Somebody actually invented one.
No.
Now give me the lowdown here, Mars.
You'll never get anyone in this town, Greg, with these stubborn Iowans. Besides, we have a stuck-up music teacher who will expose you before you get your grip unpacked.
Male or female?
The music teacher, she's the librarian. Female.
Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. If she passes by, point her out to me.
I will. How you gonna start the pitch?
Same old way. I have to keep that music teacher off balance. Now my next step will be to get your town out of the serious trouble that it's in.
River City isn't in any trouble.
Well, then I have to create some. I have to create a desperate need for a boys' band. You remember. And what's new around here? What can I use?
Nothing except the billiards parlor. Just put in a new pool table.
They've never had a pool table here before?
No, only billiards.
That'll do. Either you're closing your eyes to a situation you do not wish to acknowledge, or you are not aware of the caliber of disaster indicated by the presence of a pool table in your community. Well, you got trouble, my friends. Right here, say trouble right here in River City. Why, sure, I'm a bitter player, certainly proud to say. I'm always mighty proud to say it. I consider that the hours I spend with the cue in my hand are golden. Help me cultivate horse sense in a cool head and a keen eye. Now, friends, let me tell you what I mean. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pox in a table. Pox that mark the difference between a gentleman and a bum with a capital B, and that rhymes with B, and that stands for pool. Now I know all you folks are the right kind of parents. I'm gonna be perfectly frank. Would you like to know what kind of conversation goes on while loafing around that hall? You're trying out Bevos, trying out Cubebs, trying out tailor-mades like cigarette fiends, and bragging all about how they're gonna cover up the telltale breathless sense. And one fine night, they leave the pool hall, heading for the dance at the armory, libertine men, and scarlet women, and ragtime. Shameless music that'll drag your son, your darling, with the arms of juggle, animal instinct, mass hysteria. Friends, the idle brains, the devil's playground trouble. Right in River City, with a capital B, and that rhymes with P, and that stands for pool. Well, we surely got trouble. Right in River City. Gotta figure out a way to keep the young ones moral after school. Mothers of River City, heed the warning before it is too late. Watch for the telltale signs of corruption. The moment your son leaves the house, does he rebuckle his knickerbockers below the knee? Are certain words creeping into his conversations? Words like swell. And so's your old man. Well, so my friends, you know what you got? You got trouble! Right in River City! With a capital T and that rhymes with P and that stands for pool. Well, we surely got trouble! Right in River City! With a T, gotta rhyme with P, and that stands for pool. To drop your...
No.
Say, didn't I meet you in?
No.
I'll only be in town for a short while and...
Good. I'll be there in a minute.
Yes, ma'am.
Mama, a man with a suitcase has been following me all over town. Oh, who? I never saw him before.
Well, did he say anything?
He tried.
Did you say anything?
Mama, of course not. All right, Amaryllis, now your exercises. Sol, do, la, re, ti, mi. A little slower, and please keep the fingers curved as nice and high as you possibly can. Don't get faster, dear.
If you don't mind my saying so, it wouldn't have hurt you to find out what the gentleman wanted.
I know what the gentleman wanted.
What, dear?
You'll find it in Balzac.
Well, excuse me for living, but I've never read it.
Neither has anyone else in this town.
There you go again with that same old comment about the low mentality of River City people and taking it out too much to heart.
Now, Mama, as long as the Madison Public Library was entrusted to me for the purpose of improving River City's cultural level, I can't help my concern that the ladies of River City keep ignoring all my counsel and advice.
But, darling, when a woman's got a husband and you've got none, why should she take advice from you? Even if you can quote Balzac and Shakespeare and all them other higher-fluting Greeks.
Mama, if you don't mind my saying so, you have a bad habit of changing every subject.
No, I haven't changed the subject. I was talking about that stranger.
What stranger?
With the suitcase who may be your very last chance.
Mama, do you think I'd allow a common masher now? Really, Mama, I have my standards where men are concerned, and I have no intention.
I know all about your standards, and if you don't mind my saying so, there's not a man alive who could hope to measure up to that blend of Paul Bunyan, St. Pattern, or Webster if you cocked it for yourself. Your Irish imagination dry with stubborn and your library full of books.
Well, if that isn't the best I ever heard.
Thank you. Can I have a drink, please?
May I?
May I have a drink, please?
Yes, dear.
Is that a way to walk into the house?
Hello.
That won't do it all. I'll have a hug from my boy. That lady over there is your sister, young man.
Hello, Winthrop.
Winthrop, where's your manners?
I'm having a party on Saturday. Will you come? I would especially like it very much if you'd come, Winthrop.
Well, Winthrop, Amaryllis asked you to her party. Are you going or aren't you?
No.
No what?
No, thank you.
You know the little girl's name?
He won't say Amaryllis because of the S, because of his lisp. He's ashamed.
We all know very well about his lisp, Amaryllis. Well, Winthrop?
I'll bet he won't say it.
No, thank you, Amaryllis.
Amaryllis! Why does he get so mad at people just because he lisps?
It's not only because he lisps. That's just part of it, Amaryllis.
What's the other part?
Never mind, dear. It's just that he never talks very much.
Not even to you and your mother?
No, dear, we all have to be a little patient.
I'm patient even though he doesn't ever talk to me, but I do to him. Every night I say goodnight to him on the evening star. You have to do it the very second you see it or it doesn't count. Good night, my Winthrop. Good night. Sleep tight.
There, dear, you have lots of time. If not Winthrop, there will be someone else.
Never. I'll end up an old maid like you.
Then, for the time being, just say goodnight, my someone. You can put the name in when the right someone comes along.
All right, it's better than nothing.
Yes, it is. Now you can play your crosshand piece.
Now I may play my crosshand piece.
Good night, my someone. Good night, my love. Sleep tight, my someone. Sleep tight, my love. Our star is shining, its brightest light. For good night, my love, for good night. Sweet dreams be yours, dear, if dreams there be. Sweet dreams to carry you close to me. I wish they may, and I wish they might. Now good night, my someone. Good night. True love can be whispered from heart to heart. When lovers are parted, they say. But I must depend on a wish and a star, as long as my heart doesn't know who you are. Sweet dreams be yours, dear, if dreams there be. Sweet dreams to carry you close to me. I wish they may, and I wish they might. Now good night, my someone. Good night. Good night. Good night.
all grateful for my wife, Eulalie McKechnie, for leading the singing. As mayor of River City, I welcome you, River City Zians, to the 4th of July exercises set up here in Madison Gymnasium. Account for the weather. 4 and... Now. The members of the school board will now present a patriotic tableau. The members of the school board will not present a patriotic tableau. Some disagreement about the costumes, I suppose. Instead, the Watan Yi girls of the local wigwam of Hiawatha will present a spectacle, My Wife, in which my wife, Eulalie McKechnie, will take a leading part. Watan Yi!
Watan Yi!
Watan Yi!
Watan Yi!
I will now count to 20 in the Indian tongue. Een, teen, tooth, feather, fifth, fifth. Oh, that was shot, Maud! I was shot. Oh, so much shot.
I know who did it! Tommy the Gillis! Yes, it was Tommy the Gillis!
Oh,
Tommy and Gillis, I wouldn't leave if I was you.
oh, that boy's gonna get it soon. Mrs. Shin will recover. The Payne's fireworks spectacle of the last days of Pompeii will take place providing that the rain stops by 9:30.
How can it be raining? Didn't the Gazette predict fair? Sure did, Ewart. That's why we all prepared for a storm.
The Gazette is accurate most of the time, and you know it, JC.
You wouldn't last very long in the banking business, being accurate most of the time.
Right, well, some of them
Gentlemen! Will you members of the school board stop bickering in public? All in the world that I would say was, never mind.
We heard there's a new pool table in town.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Now just a minute.
Is it a pool table or isn't it?
Will you allow me to get on with the exercises?
We don't want any more exercises until we get this pool table matter settled.
Yeah! Let's protect our children. Yeah! Resist sin and corruption. Yeah! Smite that devil and keep our young boys pure. May I have your attention, please? Attention, please. I can deal with the trouble, my friends, with a wave of my hand, this very hand. Now observe me, if you will. I'm Professor Harold Hill, and I'm here to organize River City's boys band. Think, my friends, how could any pool table ever hope to compete with a golden trombone? Ra-da-ra-da-da-da-da-da. Oh, remember, my friends, what a handful of trumpet players did to the famous fabled walls of Jericho. Oh, billiard ball walls coming tumbling down. Bands will do it, my friends. Oh, yes, I mean a boys band. Do you hear me? I say River City's got to have a boys band, and I mean she needs it today. Well, Professor Harold Hill's on, and in River City's gonna have her boys band. Sure as the Lord made little green apples, that band's gonna be in uniform. Johnny, Willie, Teddy, Fred. And you'll hear the glitter of crashing cymbals, the thunder of rolling drums, and the shimmer of trumpets. Ta-da-da-da! You'll feel something akin to the electric thrill I once enjoyed when Gilmore, Liberati, Pat Conway, the great Creator, W.C. Handy, and John Philip Sousa all came to town on that very same historic day. 76 trombones led the big parade, with 110 cornets close at hand, followed by rows and rows of the finest virtuosos, the cream of every famous band. 76 trombones caught the morning sun, with 110 cornets right behind. There were more than 1,000 reeds springing up like weeds. There were horns of every shape and kind. There were copper-bottomed timpanis and Norse platoons, thundering, thundering all along the way. Double bell euphoniums and big bassoons, each bassoon having his big fat say. There were 50 mounted cannons in the battery, thundering, thundering louder than before. clarinets of every size and trumpeters who'd improvise a full octave higher than the score.
For emergency action. That man's a spellbinder, and I want his credentials. Grab that hoodlum!
Thank you, Professor. Gotta make an example of him. Ringleader, you know. What he does, the gang does.
Jeez, oh, Pete, let me go.
You wild kid. Yeah, tagging down Main Street over my oldest girl last Sunday?
I wasn't even tagging.
Watch your phraseology. Don't you contradict me.
We was just walking. Jeez, oh, Pete.
I know what you was doing. My little Gracie senior. Hill, I'll talk to you Monday morning about this band thing over at City Hall. 10 o'clock sharp.
Constable, I'll be responsible for the boy.
But you don't know this kid. He's tough. And he's got a gang waiting out back.
Now, Constable, I'll show you how to break up a gang. Oh, young lady. Oh, miss, what's your name?
Anita, I didn't know you was thinking of me.
Do you know Tommy DeGillis?
Well,
Tommy, this is Anita. I'd like you to escort the young lady home. By way of the candy kitchen.
Do I have to?
You have to.
Yes, sir.
Well, Professor, pretty bright young fellow you are. Made a couple mistakes, though.
Oh.
Mayor happens to own that billiard parlor. And that new pool table.
Well, what was my other mistake?
That there's Anita, Mayor's oldest girl.
Excuse me, Professor Hill. We'll need your credentials. We're the school board.
Academic certificates, please.
Nothing of the kind.
We need letters and papers.
No, make him put up a bond.
What am I hearing? Say ice cream.
Ice cream? But I don't sing, young man, if that's
Fine,
what you...
talk then. Down here.
I'll do it.
Ice cream.
See, singing's only sustained talking.
Ice cream.
Now you.
Ice cream.
Ice cream.
Ladies, from now on, you will never see one of these men without the other three.
Oh, Professor, you're wrong. See, those men have hated each other for 15 years.
Ice cream.
How can there be any sin insincere
Aren't we sincerely in love?
Where's everybody? I guess our town has no people for the day. Okay.
I don't suppose you live alone or anything.
No.
I have some wonderful caramels over at the hotel if you'd...
Mr. Hill.
Professor Hill?
Professor of what? Do tell me, at what college do they give a degree for annoying women on the street like a Saturday night rowdy at a public dance hall?
Oh, I wouldn't know. I'm a conservatory man myself. Gary, Indiana, gold medal class of '05.
Even should that happen to be true, does that give you the right to follow me around wherever I go? Oh, and another thing, Mr. Hill, I'm not as easily mesmerized or hoodwinked as some people in this town, and I think it only fair to warn you, I have a shelf full of reference books in there which may very well give me some interesting information about you.
On the QB.
Everyone is so excited about the band. I'm Ethel Toppelmeyer.
And this is Miss Squires and Miss Hicks. And I'm sure you've met Eulalie McKechnie Shin, our mayor's wife. Isn't it exciting, Eulalie?
Oh, I couldn't say. No, I could not say at this time. I could not say. And naturally, I'm reticent. Yes, I'm reticent. And my husband will wish to investigate, I am sure.
Oh, of course, I understand completely. But you see, part of my music plans require a committee of the dance. Oh, do that again, what you just did with your foot, Mrs. Shin.
Oh, well, I have a bunion here, that...
Oh, what elegance, what grace, what natural flow of rhythm.
Oh, Mr. Hill.
You must accept the chairmanships for the Ladies' Auxiliary of Classic Dance. Now, mustn't she, ladies?
Oh, Eulalie, you must.
Please. Dancing, well,
Do you accept?
Yes, indeed. And I would like to say...
And the woman who plays the piano, Miss Marian Peru? She is the librarian, after all.
Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, cheep, cheep. Talk a lot, pick a little more. Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, cheep, cheep. Talk a lot, pick a little more. Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, cheep, cheep. Talk a lot, pick a little more. Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, 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 cheep. Oh, Professor, her kind of women doesn't belong in any committee. Ha! Of course, she shouldn't tell you this, but she advocates dirty books.
Dirty books?
Tossers. Rabbles.
Balls.
And the worst thing, of course, I shouldn't tell you this, but I'll tell.
No, the man lived on my street. Let me tell.
Stop! I'll tell. The woman made brazen overtures to a man who never had a friend in this town till she came here. Oh, miser Madison.
Madison Gymnasium? Madison Hospital? Madison Picnic Park? That miser Madison?
Exactly. Who'd you think he was anyway?
Show off? Well, I should say. Gave the whole town the library, too, didn't he?
That's just it. When he died, he left the library building to the city.
but he left all the books to her.
She was seen going and coming from this place.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
That woman made brazen overtures with a gilt-edged guarantee.
She had a golden glint in her eye and a silver voice with a counterfeit ring.
Just melt her down and you'll reveal a lump of lead as cold as steel. Here, where a woman's heart should be.
He left River City, the library building, but he left all the books to her.
Chaucer.
Rabelais.
Oh!
Cheep, 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 cheep. Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, cheep, cheep.
Oh, of course, they're right over at the hotel.
Pick a little, talk a little, cheep, cheep, cheep. Pick a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, cheep, cheep. Pick a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, 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 cheep. Pick a little, pick a little, cheep, cheep, cheep. Pick a lot, pick a little more, pick a little.
Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies. We're going to leave you now.
Fine, you were perfectly young. Anybody can make a mistake.
What are you talking about?
No explanations, no apologies. I'll only be in town for a short while and...
Will you please make your selection and leave?
Well, I already have.
Well, what do you want to take out?
The Librarian.
Quiet, please.
Miss Marian, you're not listening. I have a bag of marbles, 6 Steelies, 8 Aggies, 3 Pee-wees, and 1 big Lassie with an American flag in the middle. I think I'll drop them.
No!
Marian. Madam Librarian. What can I say, my dear, to make it clear? I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marian, heaven help us if the library caught on fire and the volunteer hose brigademan had to whisper the news to Marian. Madam Librarian. What can I say, my dear, to make it clear? I need you badly, badly, Madam Librarian. Marian, if I stumbled and I busted my whatchamacallit, I would lie on your floor unnoticed till my body had turned to carrion. Madam Librarian. Here in the moonlight, man could sing it. In the moonlight, and a fellow would know that his darling had heard every word of his song with the moonlight helping along. But when I try in here to tell you dear. I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marian, it's a long lost cause I could never win. For the civilized world accepts his unforgivable sin. Ain't he talking out loud with any librarian, such as Marian? Madam Librarian. Marshmallow.
Light a rose, I'm home again, Rose, to get the sun back in my sky. Light a rose, I'm home again, Rose, about 1,000 kisses shy. Ding dong ding, I can hear the chapel bell chime. Ding dong ding, at the least suggestion, I'll pop the question. Light a rose, I'm home again, Rose, without a sweetheart to my name. Light a rose, now everyone knows that I am hoping you're the same. So here is my love song, not fancy or fine. Light a rose, oh, won't you be mine? Light a rose, oh, light a rose, oh, light a rose.
Miss Peru, has anyone ever told you that you have the facial characteristics of a cornet virtuoso?
Well, I don't know if I understand you entirely, Professor.
Well, if your son had that same firm chin and those splendid cheek muscles, well, I guess I'm not saying he'd ever really be great, of course,
Oh, is
but...
that so? And in the name of St. Bridget, why not?
Well, you see, all the really great cornet players were Irish. O'Clark, O'Mendez, O'Klein.
But Professor, we are Irish.
No, really, that clinches it. Your son was born to play the cornet. It'll be $7 earnest cash, nothing more due until our first band practice. Oh, and of course I'll need his measurements for his band uniform.
His uniform?
Well, of course.
Would it have
A stripe? Of course, my boy. One big white stripe right down the middle on both sides. Now, what do you think of that?
You'll have to excuse Winthrop, Professor. We can't get him to say 3 words a day, even to us, so if you got him playing in the band, it would be a miracle. Say, where are you from, Professor?
Gary, Indiana. In fact, Gary Conservatory was my alma mater.
Was she now?
Gold medal class of '05. Why, good evening, Miss Peru.
Mr. Hill?
He wants to put Winthrop in the band.
Do you always burst in on everyone's home like this?
Marian!
We're not interested.
Now say, why don't we let the boy's father decide?
The boy's father is dead. Anything else?
I'm sorry for Marian. She's not really...
No problem at all. I'm sure at heart she's as lovely as yourself. Good evening, Miss Peru.
And to you, Professor Hill. Marian Peru!
Has he gone?
I hope not forever. Darling, don't you ever think about your future? Gary, Indiana, gold middle class of '05.
Now, Mama, the fact that he claims his commodity is music does not in this particular case impress me.
All right, darling, all right. Only it's a well-known principle that if you keep the flint in one drawer and the steel in another, you'll never strike much of a fire.
Mama! Winthrop, I know you're there. Please go to the library and ask Miss Grubb to give you the book I set aside. It's the Indiana State Educational Journal, 1890 to 1910. It's a small black volume.
Do I have to?
You won't have to talk to anyone. I've written it all down here.
Now what are you up to? Why would you be needing books at this hour of the night?
I have a feeling the Indiana Journal may help me poke some large holes in the professor's claims.
Didn't I say get that man Hill's credentials?
Yes, George, but...
I said it July 4th, 1912. And now the whole town's turned upside down. The school board's singing up and down the alleys that attending the school board matters.
Mayor Shit.
What?
I found something very interesting in this book about Professor Hill's alma mater.
His who?
His university.
Oh, I know all about that. In fact, that's the only thing I can get him to talk about. Gary, Indiana, gold medal class of Ot 5.
If you'll just take time to read a little bit about the conservatory, I don't think you'll have to look much further. It's on page...
Yeah?
Wells Fargo wagon is just coming up from the depot.
At this hour of the day, the Wells Fargo wagon?
It could be the band instrument.
The band instruments? I want that band's credentials.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is up, coming down the street. Oh, please let it be for me. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is up, coming down the street. I wish I knew what it could be. It's March, I got a great back and Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is up, coming down. Is it a prepaid surprise for COG? Yes, it could be. Yes, you're right. It surely could be. Something very, very special now.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is a coming now. I don't know how, I can never wait to see. Could be thumping for someone who is no relation, but it could be something special just for me.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is a coming. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is a coming. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon comes here to make us have fun too. So for
How could we forget?
Thank you. My very own trumpet.
Here you are. Here's your cornet, Winthrop.
My cornet! Gee, thanks, Professor!
Men, you will each receive instruction in due course. In the meantime, stay off the streets, get acquainted with your instruments, and remember, think in the minuet of G. La-di-da-di-da-di-da.
Oh, sister, have you ever seen anything so scrumptious as this scrumptious solid gold thing? Oh, sister!
Round one for you, Mr. Hill, but I better hear some by gad good tootin' out of them horns in pretty short order, or I'll see you in front of the grand jury. Now, Miss Marian, about that book.
Come, George.
Hold on, I've got to get something from the librarian. Thank you. I swear you drag me around like a ball and chain sometimes. God.
I've never seen Winthrop so happy. Thank you, Professor Hill.
My pleasure, Miss Prue.
Start off, Mr. Washburn. Wait till you see the new stuff Professor Hill taught us.
All right, what does that mean?
The Shifufi.
Wait till the second time out is anything but fussy. But a woman who will wait till the third time around Head in the clouds, feet on the ground. She's the girl he's glad he's found. She's his shapoopy, 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 shapoopy. The girl who's hard to get. Shapoopy, shapoopy, shapoopy. But you can win her yet. Shapoopy, 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 the girl who's hard to get. Shapoopy, 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 but you can win her yet. You can win her yet. Shapoopy!
Take your hands off my daughter! Papa! Move out of the way! Move! You're in for it now, boy.
Mr. Shin, Your Honor, your daughter and I are going steady behind your back. We would do it in front of your back, but...
I'm going to warn you once more!
Oh, now, George.
Now what poop buddy?
Oh, I think he means Pete.
You know what I sleep written all over you? Reform school! Now get out! Get out, you wild kid! You
Papa, please! Catholics like you make fun of the marketplace. Yeah.
You want your phraseology, young woman. Now go home.
George.
Mr. Mayor, I want you to know I'm vouching for Tommy DeGillis. The boy's got the confidence of every kid in town. He'll be waiting in line wanting to shake his hand by the time our boys play their first concert.
Mr. Hill, by the time your band plays its first concert, the individual members will have forgathered in wheelchairs on account of the broken legs they'll get from tripping over their beards. I'll tell you something, never mind! Oliver, JC, Ewart, Olin, you get your good-for-nothing keisters up here before I fire all four of you! Now I want this man's references and I want them tonight. Don't let him out of your sight. He's slippier than Mississippi sturgeon. Ugh.
Professor Hill, I think Mayor Shin has behaved abominably. And I think it was wonderful of you coming to Tommy's defense.
Man can't dodge a task every time a little personal risk is involved. What does the poet say? The coward dies 1,000 deaths. The brave man only 500.
I just wish I was a little more informed. I've been wanting to talk to you about Winthrop's cornet.
His cornet, mother of pearl keys.
I'm sure it's fine. It's just he tells me about some think system. If he thinks the minuet in G, he won't have to bother with the notes. Now, Professor...
The think system is a revolutionary method, I'll admit, but I can't discuss things such as this in public. But if you'll allow me to call... When may I call?
Why, any night this week.
Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, 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 pick a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, talk a little, pick a little,
Please, Tornado Del Star Committee, you were so dear at dancing the shapoopy with Professor Hill.
You danced like a fairy princess with a moonbeam for your floor.
You had a golden shoe in your hair and silver shoes for all to see.
We know that you will soon unfold a forgiving heart of purest gold. Here, where a woman's heart should be. Moonbeam floor, golden shimmer, silver shoes. Now unfold, heart of gold. Here, where a woman's heart should be. The professor told us to read those books, and we simply adored them all. Chaucer, Rabelais. Oh, that. Cheep, 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 cheep. Take a little, talk a little, cheep.
Ma!
Winthrop, where have you been?
Fishing!
Fishing?
With Harold. He told me all about his hometown, Gary, Indiana, and how he'd take me there one day. And he taught me a song without hardly almost any S's in it. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, let me say it once again. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, that's the town that knew me when. If you'd like to have a logical explanation, how I happened on this elegant syncopation, I will say without a moment of hesitation, there is just one place that can light my face.
Gary, Indiana. Gary, Indiana.
Not Louisiana, Paris, France, New York, or Rome, but
Gary, Indiana. Gary, Indiana.
Gary, Indiana,
my home sweet home.
I'll be back in a minute. I gotta go show Amaryllis my live frog.
Oh, leave the dishes. I'll do them, Mama.
You the piano teacher in town?
Why, yes.
You must know about this fellow Hill forming a band.
Oh, yes.
Well, don't let it worry you no more. I got the goods on him in spades, Swindlin' two-bit thimble rigger. I'm just passing through. Number 8 only makes a 15-minute water stop.
Who are you?
Name's Charlie Cowell, anvil salesman. Just now I'm out to protect the traveling fraternity from this swindler.
Mr. Cowell, you're making a big mistake.
Mistake my old lady's corset cover. That fella's been the raspberry seed in my wisdom tooth just long enough. He spoiled Illinois for me, and he's not going to spoil Iowa. Say, what kind of teacher are you? You didn't see through him. He's no more professor.
Oh, I know all about that. Band leaders are always called professor. It's a harmless deception. Now, he's a fine director and he's
Now, wait a
scholastic.
minute. Fine director? You heard one note of music from any band.
No, but...
But nothing, girly girl. He never formed a band in his life, and he never will.
You'll never make that train at the depot. You'll have to catch it at the crossing.
No, sir. I've got to lead word, and I can see you ain't the one to leave it with.
I've never met a man who sells anvils. That's something, well, quite different.
It takes a real salesman, you know. And what am I doing? I miss that train and I'll get fired, and I've got to leave word.
Leave word with me.
Not on your tin type. How do I know you deliver these letters?
Try me. There's your train. Now run for it.
You double-dealing little... Who do you think you're protecting? That guy's got a girl in every county in Illinois, and that's 102 counties. Not counting the piano teachers like you he goes up to, just to keep their mouths shut. You haven't heard the last of me, girly girl! Marian, who are you just talking to just then? Why, Professor Hill.
Top of the evening, Miss Peru. Miss Marian.
You two come up to set. I've got some jelly on the stove.
There's no jelly on the stove, Mom.
Well, I'll put some on.
Shall we set as your mother said?
Well,
You did ask me to call.
Professor Hill, is it true that you... Well, what I'm trying to say is, I must be very dull company for a man of your experience.
Now, Miss Marian, where did you get an idea like that?
One hears rumors of traveling salesmen.
Now, Miss Marian, you mustn't believe everything you hear. After all, one even hears rumors about librarians.
I suppose you're referring to Uncle Matty.
Uncle Matty?
Mr. Madison, my father's best friend. No matter what they say, he left me an assured job so that Mother Winthrop and I would have some security. Surely you don't believe...
Of course not, but that's what I'm saying. Why do you think people start those rumors?
Narrow-mindedness, jealousy mostly, I guess.
Exactly, and rumors start rumors about traveling salesmen. Now, what have you heard?
Just that... But of course it stands to reason that disappointment and jealousy can lead to... I mean, take you, for instance. Your attention to customers and, well, teachers might easily be misinterpreted, mightn't they? I mean, now honestly, mightn't they?
Well, I mean,
So you say, if someone were to be jealous, well, they could be downright lies, couldn't they?
Well, what could?
Rumors and things.
Well, of course.
It just goes to show you shouldn't believe everything you hear. I mean, if you discuss things...
Miss Marian, I'd be delighted to discuss anything in this world with you. But couldn't we do it sitting down? Your knees do bend and all, don't they?
We could sit on the porch steps.
You could also sit on a large hollow log by the footbridge.
Oh, I couldn't think of it. I've never been to the footbridge with a man in my life.
Just to talk. Meet me there in 15 minutes.
I just can't. Please, some other time, maybe tomorrow?
My dear little librarian, pile up enough tomorrows and you find you've collected nothing but a bunch of empty yesterdays. I'm not sure about you, but I'd like to make today worth remembering. The footbridge, 15 minutes.
15 minutes. Mama!
What, dear?
I just told Professor Hill I'd meet him at the footbridge in 15 minutes.
Glory be and the saints be praised. It works.
What does?
The think system. I've been using it on you from the parlor.
Light a rose, I'm home again, Rose, to get the sun back in my sky. Light a rose, I'm home again, Rose, about 1,000 kisses shy. Ding dong ding, I can hear the chapel bell chime. Ding dong ding, at the least suggestion, I'll pop the question. Light a rose, I'm home again, Rose, without a sweetheart to my name. Light a rose, now everyone knows that I am hoping you're the same. So here is my love song, not fancy or fine. Light a rose, oh, won't you be mine? Light a rose, oh, light a rose, oh, light a rose.
One Grecian urn.
Two Grecian urns. And a fountain.
Stop! And listen to this man!
Gullible little green grass goats. I'm talking about Harold Hill, road agent, highwayman, pickpocket.
Pickpocket?
Same thing. He's had his hand in your wallet, mister, and yours, madam, and yours, little lady, ever since the first moment he came to this town. There is more documented evidence than you'll ever have time to read. There isn't any band, there never has been any band, and there never will be any band. And if you don't hunt this man down right now like a mad dog, there won't be any Harold Hill either. He'll be on the next train out of town.
Well, what are we waiting for? I want my money back.
Money? I want that man's hide.
After him! After him! And when you find him, bring him to the school! After him!
Oh, look at that!
there's some crazy guy and he's going all over town. He's spilling everything.
All right, get the rig.
I got it.
What time's the freight go?
9:40 from the junction.
It's not even 8:30 yet.
Look, you want to turtle wordle around here and get yourself caught in a trap?
I'll meet you at the hotel in plenty of time. Why, Miss Marian, you are late.
But you said 15 minutes.
More like 26 years. Took you that long to get to the footbridge with a fella.
If you want to know the truth, it was almost longer.
Oh?
Halfway here, I nearly turned back. I suppose I'm not the first to find it easier to think clearly when not under the spell of your salesmanship.
Now, Miss Marian, surely you don't think I've been selling you something.
Oh, no. You've given me something. That's why I decided to come.
I don't recall giving anything.
Oh, yes, you have. Something beautiful.
Marian,
There were bells on the hill, but I never heard them ringing. No, I never heard them at all till there was you. There were birds in the sky, but I never saw them winging. No, I never saw them at all till there was you. And there was music, and there were wonderful roses. They'd tell me in sweet fragrant meadows of dawn and dew. There was love all around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all till there was you. There was love all around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all till there was you.
Marian, there's a lot of things you don't know about me.
Psst, Greg!
One moment. I'm expecting a telegram from Hector Berlioz. This could be it. What?
Who's the salesman here? It sounds like she's selling and you're buying.
I told you I had to keep her off balance, didn't I?
Well, now she's so far off balance, you can't tell from a catboat in a hurricane.
Go get the rig. Sorry, not a peaceful moment here in the music business. Now where was I?
You were about to tell me what I don't know about you.
That's not all that important now that I think about it.
No, it's not, Harold. The librarian hasn't felt much like doing research lately, but she did plenty when you first came here.
What about?
About Professor Harold Hill, Gary Conservatory Gold Medal Class of '05. There wasn't any conservatory in '05.
Well, of course there was an observatory.
Because the town wasn't even built till '06. See you at the sociable.
You mean you knew this whole time?
Since July 7th, 3 days after you came.
Why, you little...
He's not over here. Let's try down by the creek.
Winthrop!
But wait a minute here, son.
I'm not your son. Leave me go.
Not till I talk to you for a minute.
I won't listen. You won't tell the truth anyway.
Would you?
Would not.
Would too. Tell you anything you want to know.
Can you lead a band?
No.
Are you a big liar?
Yes.
Are you a dirty, rotten crook?
Yes.
Leave me go, you big liar!
What's the matter? You wanted the truth, didn't you? Now I'm bigger than you, and you're gonna stand here and get it all, so you might as well quit wiggling. There's two things you're entitled to know. One, you're a wonderful kid. I thought so from the first. That's why I wanted you in the band, so you'd quit moping around and feeling sorry for yourself.
What band?
I always think there's a band, kid.
What's the other thing I'm entitled to now?
That's none of your business.
I wish you'd never come to River City.
Oh, no, you don't, Winthrop.
Sister, you believe him?
I believe everything he ever said. The way every kid in this town walked around here all summer and looked and acted, especially you. And the parents, too. Does Mama wish he'd never come to River City?
Well, you do, don't you?
No, I don't. Now go on, Harold, please.
Go on, Professor. Hurry up.
I can't, Winthrop.
Why not?
For the first time in my life, I've got my foot caught in the door.
Greg, the here, that way, that way.
Go on, Professor, that way.
Yeah. Go. Hold the curtain.
Where's the mayor?
I'm here! What's that? Ladies and gentlemen, virtue has triumphed, and the sword of retribution has cut down Harold Hill. And if there are those, who I have heard, who are melting tar and collecting feathers, I will not say nay.
Well, I should think there ought to be some of you who could forget our everlasting Iowa stubborn, chip-on-the-shoulder arrogance long enough to remember River City before Harold Hill arrived. Do you remember? Well, do you? Surely some of you ought to be grateful for him and what he has brought to our city. And if so, I should think you'd want to admit it.
You're wasting a great deal of time here. If there are those who think this man Hill should not be tarred and feathered, please step forward. You Lily, step back! Have you people forgotten the money you spent on instruction books and the insurance that your children will be taught to play in a band? Well, where's the band? Where's the band?
Think, men! Think!